Hello, it's me, Brad, and welcome to my channel. I am evolving as all things do, and today is day 8 of the fast with Prophet Lovy. And I just want to record a video really to speak to the um, the impact that this fast has had on my spiritual abilities, particularly my um, prophetic abilities in dreams and dream interpretation. Um, you know, one of the things that Prophet Lovy will talk about is that everyone really has these abilities. If you have the ability to sleep, you have the ability to dream, and you have the ability to tap into and listen to the spiritual language of those dreams, right? And for me, I feel like I've been really tapped into that for a very, very, very long time. Even as a child, I've been tapped into that, as well as spiritual abilities that lie outside of the dream state, and spiritual abilities at in various levels of the dream state. And with this fast, it's for 30 days, but even at day 8, it has been profound. Even at day 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, it has been profound. We're seeing, getting insights into the day ahead for me, which was quite interesting and quite useful, and probably, a warning of sorts. But I'm not going to talk specifically about that, about what I saw for me. But what I do want to say is, a couple days ago, I had what was I was speaking directly to I don't want to say angels, because I feel like I have seen angels. I have seen the angels come down upon me. If I was seeing like the Holy Spirit coming down upon me, perhaps that was it. And I have seen like a host of angels, but this was something different. This was, and I'll say angel, but my understanding is that angels don't have wings, and so maybe it was more of like a cherubim. When people have seen a cherubim, I felt like it spoke directly to me, and it said a very specific message. Now, it's interesting that this person's name came up in March of 2020 when I had the experience of the spirits coming down on me, seeing the 3 spirits together coming down onto me as I was drawn into like this area of like green pastures, and the 2 golden lambs or llamas. They were just so large that I would like say that they were llamas, but they perhaps were 2 brilliant golden lambs. But right before that, I heard a name. And so as I've been doing this fast, there was a very clear message communicated to me. But first I want to talk about the being that communicated this to me. I'll say being. If my language is not correct, forgive that. But I was in this dream state where, and actually, I was sleeping at someone's house. I was in New Orleans, came there to visit, sleeping in their house, and when the dream starts, I see myself sleeping there on the bed, and I see, 4 people kind of there on the bed with me. And as the dream progressed, I see more and more people, almost like, kind of people everywhere, in different areas. Like I was in the room, and then I saw people outside of the house, and I was in another area of the house. I saw even more people. There seemed to be some kind of a feast going on of sorts, and then there seemed to have been like a flood that kind of came into the house. I could see the water coming from like the crack, the side of the wall, where the wall meets the floor, kind of just coming in, which was interesting because that indeed happened in real life when I was out of the country. But at this point, I'm back into the country, and I'll speak about that too. And that happened within this time that I've been fasting with the prophet and praying with the prophet. And actually, that happened. I've been in the bathroom praying, and it came out, and that happened. Where in real life, where I saw the flood come under the wall in the hotel that we were in. But I'm seeing this in a dream state a few days later, and so after all that transpires, then I seem to be along the side of like a lake or a pond, and it feels like I've sensed the presence of two people now. It's myself and two others. One seems to be an adult who's not really speaking to me, and then I seem to be holding like a child, kind of spinning them around. And that spinning around sensation is significant as well. But we're having a conversation in this, and in this conversation, the name that was mentioned that I said I heard in 2020, in March of 2020, that was the name of Barack Obama. But I just heard the name of Barack Obama in 2020. This time, there was a message specifically said to me, and that was, they are trying to hurt Barack Obama, or they are trying to attack Barack Obama. So it seems that I have, in this heightened, prophetic, this expansion of my prophetic ability, received from this child this message that they are trying to hurt Barack Obama. I don't know if anyone else is receiving this message, if anyone else is participating in the fast. I would like to know if you are receiving this, or if it's just me that is getting this message. But I will say that I did meet then Senator Barack Obama when he was running during the Democratic primaries. I was in Philadelphia. I went down to Wilmington, Delaware. I caught the train down and got out there very early and was able to line up where he would be walking through to get to the stage. And I got to, I didn't shake hands with him. I kind of grabbed both of his arms, laid hands on him. As well, I was interviewed by the local news station, the Philadelphia news station, because I was out there so early, and kind of spoke to how I felt like this was a part of history. There's never been a black president, and we didn't know if there would be a black president at that point. He was still running against Hillary, and I mentioned how they were both great candidates, but I wanted to be here to, see Barack Obama on the campaign trail, okay? And so that ran on the news. So, and this political thing, actually, my parents kind of met on the campaign trail, and I was kind of like the love baby of that meeting, and so that is interesting. But again, this is the second time, like when I've had, my two most significant, and clear encounters with spirit beings like this has come up. But this time it was much more clear because I have been fasting, I have been praying. It was, like talking directly to me. And actually, I'll tell you how it went. The child said to me, they're trying to attack Barack Obama. And for some reason, I asked, why are they trying to attack me? And the clarification was, did I say they were trying to attack you? It was like, you aren't listening. And so I listened, and it was that the message was about Barack Obama. And so perhaps this is a warning that I have tapped into, for Barack Obama. I don't know who, I don't know, people are always trying to attack his character. For certain, you look on Twitter, like, they have not stopped. I know people who, I have worked with and traveled with who, speak so bad about Barack Obama, but I attribute it to, like Fox News or whatever kind of craziness. So I don't know if someone is planning something or anything like that, but that is the message that, I received very clearly. And so I wanted to make a video about that. I know Prophet Lovy, when he was praying over the letters recently that he received, he got this message about an explosion in Europe, and sure enough, there was like chaos in France, perhaps the next day, and he even, posted, that confirmation, and he asked that everyone pray about that situation. So perhaps the thing for us to do is to pray for Barack Obama's safety. And the only other thing that I want to say about this is that, so after that was said to me, I got that message. It's like I asked the child, how old are you? And the child kind of held out, like if you were gonna say 5, but like their hands went out like this on both sides. So like, this side, this side, and at the same time, and then it was like they went like behind here, and I can kind of see them like this, but they were like little wings, like right there, not big elaborate wings. It was like something like that, and it was like it shape shifted into a different kind of shape, and that was wow, and so my understanding of the cherubims have eyes everywhere. I have seen in the spirit as well, like a giant eye. I've seen quite a few different things, and perhaps I'll do again. Talk about doing this countdown of like my most profound kind of encounters in dreams and real life, and I really do feel like I should speak about that, but I did want to go ahead and record this message because it was a warning from it was something received a few days ago, and so I want to go ahead and get it out. But yeah, like this being certainly seeing a different type of spiritual being from when I saw the golden lambs and the spirits descending kind of down upon me, and being very afraid, waking up in tears in March of 2020. I have a contemporaneous video for that that I posted once upon a time, but I have it hidden. And then there was more recently, before I left on this trip and before I started this fast, I saw like all of these people in white kind of near my parents' apartment complex, and I walked out there to that area, and it seemed very interesting to see what that area looked like and everything that was going on there. When I walked out there was like a rabbit there before I walked out, and then as I turned around to leave, I looked down, there's a feather which I collected, and while I was in Mexico I collected quite a few feathers, And even in New Orleans, I came upon a feather which I did not collect. I left it. There was a much larger black, um, perhaps a raven feather that I came across. And this is all in within like a week and a half. Like, I collected all these feathers. Um, at least like 5 that I collected, and I probably came across even more. Um, but yeah, we should be praying for Barack Obama that, because the warning wasn't that something will happen to him, but that they are trying to hurt him. And that, that was a very clear message. I heard it in words. And, and and sometimes the messages don't come in a lot of words. They come in, you know, um, symbolism. But I think that the fasting and praying has kind of led to a lot more. And I had actually prayed to, to hear clearly. And when I had that experience in March of 2020, I was praying about something before that happened as well. Glory be to God.